Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a Victoria woman pleads guilty in the death of her husband of more than 40 years.
Also, authorities continue investigating a plane collision during an air show over the weekend. 6 people were killed.
And the suspect accused of shooting and killing 3 people and hurting 2 other people on the University of Virginia campus is now in custody.
Authorities are investigating the deaths of 4 students on a university campus in Idaho.
Looking at some showers, and then the cooler air is moving right back in to the crossroads.
Watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm James Munoz.
And I'm Karina Garcia. Thank you for joining us.
A little cold out there, definitely a rainy Monday. Howie, are we under an alert day, and do we have any possible alert days later this week?
Later this week, potentially. For now, I want to say, a little disruptive weather. We're seeing some rain showers. Winds are pretty good as well, but then all these showers are going to go away as well as the winds. We could see some fog overnight. We got a little out to the east, but winds too strong throughout much of the viewing area to see those winds. You talked about temperatures. Yeah, they're coming down a little bit. We could see some temperatures falling into the 40s overnight. Then you add these winds into the mix. That is very much on the chilly side. Tonight into the 50s. Our rain chances go down as that boundary starts to push out of the area. But I was just talking a second ago. Look at that, 43 degrees, again, maybe with some fog. Now, we're looking at a pretty chilly week overall. We're going to talk more about it coming up very soon. Karina, James?
59-year-old Rose Marie Garcia has pleaded guilty in the death of her husband. Authorities say she reported her husband missing in June of 2019. Authorities found the body of Mario Garcia in the 1000 block of Beck Road West. The couple was married for more than 4 decades. The sentencing phase is now underway. The names of the 6 people who died in the Dallas air show crash Saturday released to the public. One of the victims was a former Keller City Council member. A B-17 Flying Fortress and a P-63 King Cobra were taking part in a flying exhibit at the Wings Over Dallas air show when they collided at the Dallas Executive Airport. The NTSB is investigating.
And this, of course, brings us to the viewer poll this afternoon. But first, don't forget, come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate in our polls. Viewers can also scan the QR code to get this poll, which is, by the way, going to be on your screen soon. Now, the question is, should we discontinue future vintage military aircraft shows with retired pilots? Yes or no? Stay tuned for 25 News Now at 6 for viewer poll results with Don Brubaker. An intense manhunt is over. A University of Virginia student accused of shooting and killing 3 people late Sunday night was caught.
UVA was under a shelter-in-place order for about 12 hours as police searched the campus for the suspect. He's identified as Christopher Darnell Jones, Jr.
Terror in Charlottesville as a deadly shooting Sunday night sent the University of Virginia into lockdown.
This is a sad, shocking, and tragic day for our UVA community.
A massive manhunt overnight as police searched for this man, UVA student and former football player Christopher Jones Jr., who's suspected of killing 3 schoolmates and injuring 2 others as they returned from a field trip to Washington, D.C. Officials say the shooter opened fire on a bus full of students in a parking garage on the UVA campus.
My heart is broken for the victims and their families and for all those who knew and loved them.
The UVA president identifying victims who died as Devin Chandler, a junior from Huntersville, North Carolina, Lavelle Davis Jr., a junior from Dorchester, South Carolina, and Deshaun Perry, a junior from Miami, Florida. All 3 were members of the UVA football team. UVA police say the suspect had been investigated by campus officials in September after someone reported him making a comment about owning a gun. By mid-Monday morning, Jones had been found away from campus and taken into custody.
We've secured arrest warrants for Mr. Jones. We've charged him with 3 counts of second-degree murder, and we charged him with 3 counts of using a handgun in the commission of a felony.
The suspect's motive unclear as students and the victims' families now try to make sense of this tragedy.
Please reach out to each other and lend each other an ear and a shoulder, even if virtually.
In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
4 people were found dead this afternoon. The University of Idaho confirmed they were students of U of I. Police responded to a call for an unconscious person when they found the 4 victims. The incident is under investigation. Classes were canceled today to honor the students. Police don't believe there's an active threat to that community. The university also shared resources for students and staff impacted by the event.
A driver was hospitalized after veering off a freeway and crashing into an apartment building in Houston. Here's more.
You got this vehicle come through and hit the concussion, and you go on the other side, you can see where it just blew out the windows of our bedroom, and everything, the glass and stuff.
An investigation underway to figure out how and why the driver of this blue SUV veered off the feeder road and into the apartment complex near the Gulf Freeway at Edgebrook. It happened around 6 this morning. Firefighters had to first stabilize the building before they can get to the driver. Eventually they did, and he was taken to the hospital.
Once we shore up the building, it falls on city engineers. Because of city planning and the structural integrity of the building itself has to fall on them to make sure that this is actually sound.
LaWayne Miles, who lives here, said a vehicle crashing into the building isn't new.
Awakened by a loud boom and looked up, and there's a vehicle in my living room. Yeah, this is probably like the second time that I've known this to happen since I've been in like 5 years. The first one was this apartment right here next to me. But yeah, vehicle lost control, and it's in my apartment now.
Students walked out today accusing the Seattle Public Schools for lacking mental health resources. The students are pushing for millions in funding for school counselors and more safety measures. They also want an increase in security training and a ban on assault rifles. This comes after a 14-year-old shot and killed a student inside of a Seattle high school. They were charged with first-degree murder, and a 15-year-old was accused of assisting the suspected shooter. A major strike may potentially impact the University of California's educational system. Nearly 50,000 employees walked off the job today, including teaching assistants, graduate students, researchers, and instructors. The union demands higher pay and better working conditions and accused the university system of not negotiating in good faith. The university system denies these allegations. They say its 10 campuses will remain open during the strike.
Today, Governor Abbott called for an investigation into Harris County's election practices.
This is due to the delayed polling place openings that prompted an ongoing legal battle in Harris County, plus a shortage of paper ballots at some polls and understaffing problems, among other issues. Governor Abbott said he wants the Secretary of State, Attorney General, and Texas Rangers to investigate the Harris County elections.
Comedian Jay Leno recovering from burns after a gasoline fire. The former Tonight Show host was working on one of his vehicles in his garage when it burst into flames. The 72-year-old said he's okay and needs a week or two to recover. Organizers of an event Sunday at the Financial Brand Forum Conference in Las Vegas reported Leno canceled an appearance due to that medical emergency. He's undergoing treatment at a burn center in Los Angeles.
The Public Health Department says the number of flu cases continue to rise in the Coastal Bend. This time last year, the cases were as low as 15 to 40, but this year the Public Health Department says they're seeing 800 cases.
The experts advise the public to get that flu shot and the latest COVID-19 booster. You can register through the Victoria County Public Health Department. Right now, appointments are available Tuesday mornings and afternoons and on Thursday mornings.
On Tuesday, Crestwood Drive will close for paving operations between Cameron Street and Windsor Street from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m., weather permitting. All businesses and homes in the construction zone will remain accessible. The construction is part of the $3.7 million Crestwood Drive Phase 2 reconstruction project. This project is expected to be fully complete by next February.
All right, we're glad you're here. Stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News now at 5. The U.S. Supreme Court cleared the January 6 committee to access phone and text records of Arizona GOP Chair Kelly Ward.
Also ahead, President Biden and Chinese President Xi meet for the first time to discuss critical issues between the U.S. and China.
Fall into savings all month long at Mankind Victoria. New in-stock 2022 Ford F-150s, $7,500 off the MSRP. For details, go to Mankind Ford in Victoria, mankindfordofvictoria.com.
After my surgery, I was very happy that Dr. Richardson checked in on me, and now I'm 6 months out. I feel great, and I'm very happy for the job that he did.
2 years ago, I had a neurostimulator surgery implant. Helped me out greatly. Thank you, Dr. Richardson.
At the Richardson Spine Institute, we ensure that the most advanced spine technology is being used and each patient receives personalized care. Call for an appointment and live beyond pain. We have your back at the Richardson Spine Institute.
Have you been told you have to live with your wound? There is hope at PAM Outpatient Wound Care. At PAM Outpatient Wound Care Clinic, you'll find the latest technology and the most committed and caring professionals dedicated to your wound healing. Our experienced wound healing experts and multidisciplinary team specialize in preventing amputation and preserving limbs.
I began hyperbarics here. I'm walking and have the leg, which is the best part.
Come see us at PAM Outpatient Wound Care, where healing starts here.
Over the past month, there have been several burglaries involving a suspect throwing a brick through the front door of a closed business and then stealing a cash register from inside the business. Investigators believe these incidents may be connected. The most recent burglary occurred on September 1st. If you have any information about these burglaries, submit a tip to Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. All tips are anonymous. If you give information that leads to arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward.
Fall into savings all month long at Metcalfe Victoria. New in-stock 2022 Ford F-150s, $7,500 off the MSRP. For details, go to Metcalfe Ford in Victoria, MetcalfeFordofVictoria.com.
Arizona Republican Party Chair Kelly Ward reportedly served as a fake elector for former President Trump in Arizona. Ward arguing the subpoena was too intrusive and violated her First Amendment rights. Her request to freeze the subpoena denied. A district court judge ruled against Ward, and the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals backed the ruling. The appeals court wrote the action isn't about her politics, but about her involvement leading up to the January 6th Capitol attack.
President Joe Biden called for cooperation, not confrontation, during his first meeting with the Chinese president. During the three-house conversation, the leaders discussed China's handlings in Taiwan.
They also discussed nuclear weapons. The meeting comes at a critical time as U.S. and China relations have grown increasingly hostile.
The stakes between the superpowers could not have been higher. A potential openness to repairing relations signaled with a handshake between President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping.
We had an open and candid conversation about our intentions and our priorities.
Tensions over Taiwan took center stage, Biden warning Xi against further provocations towards the island. Following the talk, Biden said he did not interpret any imminent attempt by China to invade.
I made it clear that we want to see cross-strait issues peacefully resolved, and so it never has to come to that.
Xi stated after the marathon meeting, Taiwan is the first red line that must not be crossed. Biden turning the focus to mutual economic goals.
We're going to compete vigorously, but I'm not looking for conflict. I'm looking to manage this competition responsibly.
And North Korea, amid concerns over continued saber rattling, Biden said he's uncertain if Beijing has the capacity to influence Pyongyang's nuclear pursuits.
I made it clear to President Xi Jinping that I thought they had an obligation to attempt to make it clear to North Korea that they should not engage in long-range nuclear tests.
The president also using the global stage to tout American democratic ideals as midterm results further crystallized.
And the American people prove once again that democracy is who we are.
I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Former President Trump issued a new court filing today. Trump argued a president gets to decide whether records from his time in office are personal documents or presidential records, which is the property of the federal government. He decided before he left office the records he took to Mar-a-Lago were personal documents. His filing comes amid an ongoing criminal investigation into the Mar-a-Lago documents seized by the FBI in August. Some of them were marked classified.
Data from the CDC reports about half of the U.S. has high or very high respiratory illnesses activity amid the early flu season. These surges are overwhelming children's hospitals and prompting concern among parents. Here's more on the warning signs of serious respiratory illness.
Across the U.S., some hospitals filling up as respiratory illnesses continue to spread.
But we are seeing high levels of RSV certainly, and our influenza levels are starting to increase.
While most kids who get sick this season will recover quickly with home care, some young children may need extra care. Mayo Clinic pediatrician Dr. Angela Mackey says whether medical attention is needed depends on 3 things. First, how your child is breathing.
Are they breathing faster, more shallow, or are they working harder to breathe?
If there are any breathing troubles, seek medical care right away. Matkey says to give your sick child medications to reduce fever. Which kind will depend on the age of your baby. She says children who are more comfortable will drink more, which is key to keeping them hydrated.
They might not nurse as much, they might not take as much via bottle when they're sick, but they need to make at least 3 wet diapers in 24 hours.
And finally, Matkey says to pay attention to your child's energy level. If the child is difficult to arouse, seek medical attention right away. And when it comes to flu, she says there's one thing we can control.
So I would strongly encourage parents to, if they haven't already gotten their child's influenza vaccine this year, to get it scheduled as soon as possible.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Alrighty, grab your cell phone and scan this QR code. This is our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. You can watch wherever, whenever, get breaking news alerts, and vote in our viewer polls. Submit news, tip, videos, and photos, and you'll know all about our ongoing contests.
Windy and rainy, and then it's going to get chillier. We'll talk all about it.
Texas, now's the time to gear up and save on a new Ford SUV. Get great deals on our most capable lineup, like the spacious and tech-savvy Ford Expedition or Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport, both rated 2022 IIHS top safety picks and both designed to give you greater confidence. Choose in-stock or custom order select Ford SUVs and lock in $3,900 for $60 plus $500 cash plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
No matter where you call home, you deserve reliable coverage. At T-Mobile, we cover your town and 99% of people in America. And now, for a limited time with T-Mobile's hometown discount, families and small businesses who switch at a local store get 20% off. That's 20% off unlimited talk, text, and data for the life of your plan. Plus, with our T-Mobile Price Lock, we guarantee we won't raise the price of your rate plan. Get T-Mobile's hometown discount today.
We're just gonna leave this right here. The new Spicy Patty Melt from DQ. The perfect blend of melty and toasty with crispy Jalitos. And save room for a treat.
DQ, that's what I like about Texas.
If you paid more for your car insurance this year than last year, give us a call at Fred Loya Insurance or visit us at fredloya.com.
My insurance rates went up more than 50%. That's when I called Fred Loya.
My insurance went up over $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year. So I called Fred Loya Insurance.
If you think you're paying too much for your car insurance or if your renewal rates have gone up, start paying less and call or visit us online at fredloya.com.
Tuesday, ballerina Misty Copeland. I can do a curtsy. Oh, wow, thank you.
We were in an Uber not too long ago, and Aubrey was with me, and I was talking to the driver, asking all kinds of questions, and she's nudging me because I guess I was talking too much.
Did he pretend that he had a phone call to take?
After 6 or 7 follow-ups, there just wasn't a lot of responding.
Next 5, Anya Taylor-Joy and Freddie Highmore from The Good Doctor.
So I guess there's a line you can cross of too much.
I don't know what that line is.
All right, we'll start off in like we do so many times. We see that beautiful blue, but no, cloud cover today as boundaries and the storms are passing through the area. So we did warm up a little bit today, up to 67. But that is really short-lived because cooler air once again on the way. We've seen almost a half an inch of rain falling, and here is what we have. Okay, this all started out this way. Cold front that moved through the other day turned into a warm front, started moving back into the vicinity of the crossroads, striking up some showers. But that's going to meet up now with a cold front coming, excuse me, cold front coming down from the northwest. That front is going to push all this activity out of the way and we're going to cool down and dry off. But most notably, we are going to cool down. Here's our dew points. Okay, we got knocked down into the 20s last couple days, but now as that moisture and storms move back in, yeah, they're on the rise again. Some spots in the 60s away from the coast, still in the 50s. Here's our winds. Okay, very gusty. They've come down a little bit. Victoria was gusting to 33 just a few moments ago, but overall, yeah, some areas of winds in that 35, 25 mile per hour wind range. Those winds should start to lessen overnight because we have a possibility of some fog if that does happen. But here's our boundary. Here's the warm front pushing in, generating those showers. But then the cold front is going to push through in the next several hours. We're going to start to dry off, and then that cooler air moves in and we start to dry off really and cool down the rest of the week. We'll have cloud cover moving into the area, but really that's about it. For the most part, we're going to stay dry, and on the chilly side, temperatures maybe 20 degrees below average for much of the week. Some of our highs are going to be where our low temperatures normally are this time. I mean, that's about 52 degrees. Okay, here's the boundary, bringing us some showers. The boundary clears the area, dries us out, and then that cool air moves down out of the north and keeps us, again, below average temperature-wise. Much welcome by a lot of people, as that's right, because it is hot here a lot or all the time in South Texas. So 73 for our water. That's a nice little rebound. We were 63 degrees yesterday, but seas occasionally at 8 feet. Bays on the rough side. Look at those winds. That's right. Small craft advisory criteria. So be very careful on the waterway. Tonight into the 50s as that boundary starts to move in. That cooler air drops down. Here is where we're headed. 43 degrees. Partly cloudy. If these winds start to come down enough, yes, we could have some areas of fog, so drive on that slower side. Tomorrow, again, 57 for our high under mostly sunny skies. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, another boundary does come through, bring rain and cool us down even further. That's in Cuero, on the water in Port Lavaca. Still, boundary comes in, brings us some more showers, and then back here in Victoria, here's what we're looking at. Another possible alert day on Friday as that boundary comes in, increases winds, rain, and then knocks our temperatures down all over again. Maybe about a week from now, though, we do start to warm back up. For more weather, news, and sports, you can go to our app. That's at crossroadstoday.com, and that is free with any Android and iPhone. Now we send it back to Karina and James.
All right, Howie, thank you so much. Time to break out the blue jean jacket or maybe something bigger.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's getting chilly.
Coming up next on 25 News Now at 5, we'll take a look at your stocks. Plus, the national average price for a gallon of gas falls ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday.
Palace Bingo is open and our customers' health is our main concern. We installed UV lights in our building for your safety. These UV lights kill harmful germs in the air and combat COVID-19. Plus, our employees have masks on, hand sanitizer stations are available, and we have plenty of room for each of our guests to enjoy. We also sanitize the hall after each session. And don't forget, our UV lights keep the air clean. Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends and friends win money.
Where friends meet friends.
Hello, Victoria. It's that time of year. The temps are dropping, the holidays are near. For Ventura's Tamales, tamale time is here. So just like Santa, we're checking our list. And never, I mean never, have you heard things like this. A fresh-made tamale, a family can enjoy it. Tamales bring smiles for young girls and boys. So we'll give you this secret, but please do not tell. Order early this year. Rice and beans might as well. Made from scratch with perfection. A taste sure to savor. Ventura's Tamales. Unwrap the flavor.
The flu. It spreads easily. And there are lots of ways to catch it. The flu is especially hard on older adults and small children. So keep your family protected, because getting the flu is easy, but getting the shot is even easier.
were victims of Jeffrey Dahmer. The difference is they survived.
I was drugged and raped by Jeffrey. Technically, I'm supposed to be his second victim.
You had your hands broken, foot broken. He beat you
continuously all the time.
Jeffrey, I hate you! You felt the presence of evil when you were with him.
I was face to face with Satan himself.
All new Dr. Phil.
We were in an Uber not too long ago, and Aubrey was with me, and I was talking to the driver, asking all kinds of questions, and she's nudging me because I guess I was talking too much.
Did he pretend that he had a phone call to take?
After 6 or 7 follow-ups, there just wasn't a lot of responding.
Next live, Anya Taylor-Joy and Freddie Highmore from The Good Doctor.
So I guess there's a line you can cross of too much.
I don't know what that line is.
Taking a look at your stocks, the Dow down 212 points, the S&P down 36 points, and the NASDAQ down 127 points. Oil down $3.74, closing at $85.22 a barrel.
In business news, AAA reported the price declined 3 cents in the past week to $3.77 a gallon for gas, despite the national average barely budging. There are now several states with some stations selling gas below $3. More gas stations could follow. This can help with road trip budgeting for that Thanksgiving travel. AAA says the national average of $3.77 is 13 cents less than a month ago and 36 cents more than it was a year ago.
Amazon is set to lay off thousands of its corporate and technology employees. They'll focus on Amazon Devices organization, including the voice-assisted Alexa, as well as its retail and human resources divisions. The cuts are alongside a previously announced hiring freeze in the company's corporate workforce. The total number of layoffs is unknown, but just 10,000 is about 3% of the company corporate employees. Stay with us. We'll take one last look at your forecast. Plus, the Birkenstocks belonging to Steve Jobs were sold for $218,000 at an auction. We have that story after the break.
Hi folks, this is Leah at Full of Pep. Our ladies boutique has you covered from head to toe and top to bottom for any occasion you might have.
From concerts to date night, the rodeo, or a girl's day out. Even family pictures. Just check this little guy out. Come see us at 1551 North Esplanade in Cuero, and we'll get you outfitted for whatever your occasion is.
Are you ready to change your career path? Come join our sales team at the Victoria Television Group. Do you have a passion for customer service and sales? This is the right place for you. We offer great benefits, medical, dental, life, 401k, paid vacation, and much more. Call me and let me show you why the Victoria Television Group sales team is the right choice for you.
It's high school football season. If you're headed to the game, we want to see your best photos. You can win big by submitting your photos to Crossroads today. Your photo can be the next one to be showcased on Crossroads Football Live. Each winner gets a $25 Dickey's Barbecue gift certificate and a 2022 CFL t-shirt. Go to crossroadstoday.com/CFL Hall of Fame Sweepstakes and submit your photos. So pull out your cameras or phones and show us your team spirit.
Are you ready to stop letting big business take your customers away? Phase 3 Digital is your #1 digital marketing resource to keep your customers shopping with you. With an office right here in the Crossroads and a team of support across the nation, we can help you wherever your business is in the online journey. From building a site to developing e-commerce capabilities to growing your customer base, we will drive results. It is time to take the next step in growing your business with Phase 3 Digital. Are you ready to take your customers back? Give us a call or visit us online to get started.
I don't like Dr. Powell.
She's a bad resident?
She's contrary.
I work with people I don't like all the time.
It's your job to teach me.
Stop talking.
No.
You're off the case.
The Good Doctor, new tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Tuesday, ballerina Misty Copeland. I can do a curtsy. Oh, wow. Thank you.
All right, take a look at these. Remember these shoes? A pair of Steve Jobs' old Birkenstocks just sold for $218,000. It's a record for the highest price ever paid for a pair of sandals at auction. The Birkenstocks were a wardrobe staple for Apple's co-founder in the 70s and 80s. Prior to the sale, the shoes were described as well used but still intact with the imprint of Jobs' feet. Jobs died in 2011 from complications from pancreatic cancer. Those look just like the ones we all had. You still have a pair, you said.
I do have a pair. They're super popular. I would rebuy them. Well, Howie, I am liking this cold front. Can we expect more in the coming days?
If you both like the cool weather, well, you're fine, because the little warm-up we had today, it's going to be extended into another colder, chillier week as we look ahead. Really quick, okay, we have the warm front meeting up with the cold front, and we're seeing these showers, but the cold front's going to clear the area out in the next several hours, and then we're going to dry off, and then that cooler, chillier air is going to start moving down from the north. And that's right. So tonight, 50s, but overnight, here we go. A return again into the 40s. Tomorrow, only a high of 57 degrees with lots of sunshine. But looking ahead, here is what we have. We had the cold front move down, then we warmed up, and then another cold front hits us right now, knocking us back down into the 50s. Another front comes down later on in the week, maybe a possible alert day. We could have some strong winds again with some showers, but then we cool down. Look at that, Saturday, high of 52, down to 40. But then after next weekend, then we look to potentially start warming back up. Karina, James?
All right, no Birkenstocks right now this week. Too cold.
No, too
Thank
cold.
you, Howie. Thank you for being with us. Remember, we're always on at Crossroads Today Plus.
And we hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 6. World News Tonight with David Muir is up next.